In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's three greatest heroes, created from the cosmic legends of the universe. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
TV.
Now that's a name I've not heard.
TV.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is upright.
Shake and bake and pull it back.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is upright. In this, you shall know that the Lord is upright.
What the heck is the deal? I'm the best there is.
In this, you shall know that the Lord is upright.
What's in the box?
Like a spider-man.
Boom. Yo, what is up, everybody? Lords of the Long Box showing up here on Cover Price. We're going to talk about the top 10 books of the week. I decided that we're going to throw up the old school intro, outro for the Lords, just to let everybody know that we're kicking in the door. We're making it happen. I'm kissing your girl on the mouth. I'm taking your drink. You're buying me a beer. It's going to happen. I'm here, Gabe, at Ninja Comic Books, and I got my whole crew. It's a sausage party this week, guys.
Yes.
Sausage party. Let it hang. We are running this week without Laura, unfortunately. Much love. She's working hard. She's breaking her back. She's starting comics. We want to send her all love and appreciation. But when the cat's away, the boys are gonna play. And I'm here with my boys tonight. Marty, tell everybody what's up.
How do I follow that, guys? I mean, seriously, that's you said it all. I mean, you said a mouthful, if you will. But you know what? You're absolutely right. Laura is out there busting her bum, working. I mean, they're thousands. What about 1,000 or so long boxes? So her and Ann are there getting that stuff ready, getting things bagged and boarded, checking out what they got down there. So I'm sending much love to you guys for that. Bird City Comics, Ant and Laura. Man, I tell you what, if that intro outro does not get you pumped up, I don't know what does, man. That really hits home, you know, and that you can spin that Marty reminiscing clip all day long for that bad boy, because I tell you what, that really brings back some memories. So Lords of the Long Box, man, always near and dear, man. And that intro outro right there, when you have that warm and fuzzy feeling, you definitely know that's that love and passion you have for something, right?
Yeah, that brought back some old feelings, man. What little hair I have left, it was kind of standing up when that was playing. I was like, that's how we're going to do this. Speaking of, Lando, tell everybody what's good, buddy. What do you got going on?
Got a lot going on, man, but it doesn't matter. Whatever's happening outside of this 1 hour where we get to talk the top 10 comics, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to rock it with Gabe, with Marty, with Chris, and you guys, the chat. I'm excited. Dude, I was actually in Ottawa today, which is like 2 hours from where I live, door to door. So shout out to my fellow Canadians in the chat. I see you guys. To my American friends, let's kick it, man. We have a big show tonight. I don't know if you guys got a glimpse of the top 10 list, but man, you got 4 books related to one video game. Hell yeah, let's go, baby.
Oh yeah. And along here with us, everybody, the one, the only. He's not a real doctor, so he joins the ranks of other famous not doctors like Dr. Doom, Dr. Dre, Dr. Demento. Everybody give it up for Dr. Yo.
You know what? I'll take that company. Dr. Dre, Dr. Demento.
What about Dr. Kevorkian or anything?
He was a
within
real
that, or-
doctor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to mention
I would
Dr.
argue that Dr. Doom is
Dr. Doom.
probably a real doctor also.
No, he never made it through college. He blew
wow.
up his college trying to save his mom from hell.
Okay, well, today you learned, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm really happy to be here filling in for our very own Laura of the Long Box. But the Lords of the Long Box are here, and we're going to go over your top 10 for this week. This is the list of the most trending books over the course of the last 7 days. We're not looking at the most interesting sales like we do on Thursdays. We're looking at raw demographic numbers. And as a data geek, I'm all here for it. So I'm here in the Yo-Yo studio. I got my new camera and lighting set up, and I'm ready to rock and roll as we explore the top 10. Let's do it.
Chris, you look great.
Isn't that good though? Doesn't he look great though? The camera makes a huge difference. So
Yeah,
great job on that. Yeah.
I didn't know you looked like that because your other camera, you were kind of in the shadows a little bit.
Yeah,
Very mysterious.
A lot more pretty.
Ooh.
A lot more pretty.
Yeah, it'll be fun until I zoom it in, right? Because you know,
No,
Yeah.
Dear Lord. Dear Lord.
What happened?
Yeah, Tim would have told you, yeah, man, you got to get better lighting, dude. You got to get better lighting.
Yeah,
You know,
he was like, dude, he was lighting his balls.
dude, your
Even
audio.
if it's
Come
the
on,
light.
we need to work on your audio, dude.
Yeah. He sent me this microphone I have. He sent this to me because he didn't like the one I had previously. So
that's
I
awesome.
love that.
that was
That's awesome.
yeah.
Man.
I would totally do that. Do the clothes. Hey, your mic sucks. I'm going to ship you one. Just look out
Yeah.
for the Amazon box.
That's just what he did, man. That's what he did.
So I know we played the good old Lords of the Long Box music, but
Yeah.
again, this would not be Lords of the Long Box. This would not be the Cover Price's top 10 without some DJ. And we're gonna play a little bit of DJ. We're gonna make it quick so everybody can congregate. And we're gonna
Just
come
don't-
back.
Don't play as long as it's not the Super Mario one, because that one's not a quick one, dude.
Oh no! I'm gonna play. It's gonna be the DJ lady style because
There we go.
it's a
Hey,
minute
chat-
long. It's a
Chat,
minute.
while we're playing this, it's a perfect opportunity for you to share out this video and get your friends in here so we can talk about the top 10 with them also, okay?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Go do that.
Let them,
That's
know
your
it's
time.
let them know that this is where the boys are.
That's
It's
right.
boy time. It's man time. Gonna crack open some beers. We're gonna do man stuff. Like I'm gonna go build a deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and sort my Little Ponies.
Man,
Yeah.
where's my tool bag, man? I feel
We're doing man stuff.
you guys are bringing it out of me,
Like
man.
comic books.
Wax my
Yeah.
chest.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna bump our chests across the country.
If that makes you feel manly, Dr. Yo-Yo, I support you 150%, man.
All right. So here's some DJ lady style. I could put some lady love in the atmosphere here on the show, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about how much we bench press. 225 for everybody asking.
I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body.
All right. So as we were saying, we're up. We're ready to go with the show tonight. We're going to see how this works without Laura, who kind of holds us down and keeps us on track. This is going to be a wild time. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and talk about the week's top 10. These are the top 10 books of the week based on aftermarket sales. Everybody in the chat, you know what's up. If you're new, welcome. Wipe your feet, give us a high five, and know that we're talking about books that sold on the aftermarket. So not books that sold in comic book stores or private sales or in the dark alley, kind of weird and creepy and little plastic baggies and stuff like that. Aftermarket sales, top 10. We're going to roll with it tonight. We're going to hit it hard. Let me bring this image down. First up.
That's what she said.
That's what she said. Absolutely. This is already going off. This is my type of show, guys. This is my type.
I mean, how else do you start a guy show with, other than a very, nice DJ girl, right? I mean, come on. That's how you start a guy show, DJ right?
Girls, we got midget wrestling, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Interesting. Can you still say that? I don't know. I think I got in trouble for saying something like that last time.
I went to midget wrestling here in Vegas not that long ago. So and it literally says what it is. It was at a strip club, and it was really weird. But yeah.
Dude, I don't know what to think of it. I really don't, man.
I mean, awesome.
This is off the chain right now, man.
We are. See what happens, Laura, when you're not. Bye, Chris. Chris
is leaving.
Oh my God, man. Okay.
Backing out into the bushes, like
right. Yeah, man.
I'm not associated. All right. So coming up, number 11, our runner-up this week. This goes out to you, Marty, or is it Marty?
Yeah.
It's me. It's me first. Yes, it's me first.
I know who goes first. I don't know who goes second or third.
So you don't have to read tonight. So you're good.
I know.
Let's do this.
Is it Chris then Lando? Or Lando and Chris?
You're thinking too hard.
Whatever. Let's go.
Cool. Marty, you're up, homeboy. Do your thing. What do we got for the runner-up this week, son?
Okay, hold on a second. Oof. Let me take a quick breath, man.
Speaking of it being a man show, look at the cover on this bad boy, right?
I love it. You are killing it tonight, man. I don't know what to say, man.
Marty, you need me to read. You okay? You having a heart attack?
Oh, man. Hold on, dude. Okay. All right. Let me take a breath, man. Oh man, someone take over from me, man. I gotta mute for a little bit.
Mark Spears Monsters #2, cover C, the Creature feature by Keenspot Entertainment, November 2023. Once again, Mark Spears continues his reign as we roll into the new year. Since the first issue's debut, Monsters has been a frequent guest on our top 10 and runner-up lists. There hasn't been a tried and true formula to figure out which cover would be the most popular, but there is usually one of them on our list. This week, a Creature from the Black Lagoon looking creature is heating up the aftermarket, but I don't think anybody's looking at the monster on this one. This cover is going on 2 months after its release and is still a trending item. We tracked a 7-day growth trend of 11% in sales, with a high sale of $20 for a near mint copy and a raw price average of $21.
Not bad.
The chat is loving it tonight.
All right.
Good job,
loving it.
Everybody joining in, having fun. Lando, we might need to do the Legends thing tonight and do an after show. I don't know.
Let's do it, man. We can do after shows. Let's. I think we should have a locker room talk type show, with just us. That would be wild. But
that's probably what took us a little long getting on the show in the first place, man. We kind of got a little long-winded, if you got to admit, man.
Absolutely. But back to the books. Back to the books, guys. No surprise. Again, Mark Spears has been on absolute fire since 2024 till now. It's never ending, and we continue to see these books with good reason. They have such appeal to them, and this one, obvious reasons as to why it's a little more appealing. But what's interesting is each issue that has come out, the Kickstarters, everybody showed some love towards, but these ones here, it's like you never know which one's gonna pop, and I feel like the safe bet is when you do see a woman gracing the cover.
Hey, yeah. Mark Spears has been on the list over and over again, and it's always good to see. It's getting a little long in the tooth, but he knows how to put out a beautiful cover. He knows how to draw the ladies, It sells. It moves. So good for that guy, man. He's making it
I
happen.
mean, these things. I mean, unless you FOC'd this bad boy, these things sell out quick. I mean, I went on to see if I could get me a copy, man. There's nothing available, dude.
Yeah. And then, hey, Laura has been killing it with her variants and stuff like that.
Oh,
I'm
good
still
lord!
looking for somebody to tell me what the story is about, but
What?
let's go at it.
I tell you what, I'm gonna read it this weekend, Gabe, and I'll give you a full report. No, yeah, I'll read it this weekend.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm down for it.
Yeah,
I am down for it.
Gabe,
I don't know how to make the slides work, Mr. Yo-Yo.
You gotta go back to camera view and then share the slide.
Back to camera view.
you got it, brother. You got it.
Back to
I don't know what camera view means.
Drop your share and add my share. I think that's how.
Oh, okay. So I gotta take down the image.
Yeah.
And then look, it's us.
There you go.
That's how this works. This is how this show works.
There we go. Love it.
Let me see if I can make that happen again. Boom.
Seamless
Oh, wait, that's us.
That's
Here
right.
we go. Here's the slide so you can see us.
Yep.
Here's the slide of what we're reading. All right.
Oh man.
I'll forget how to do that in
I'll
5
do you a
seconds.
favor, Gabe. I'll keep the slides that I'm sharing.
All right.
With what we're reading.
So let me fix this around a little bit because this is we are off the rails
Off
like
the
a
rails.
runaway train, everybody. So it's Chris.
Yes, we
Marty, are you
man.
gonna take the next one, boy? Are you
Ready?
going to start
You sure?
leading us into the list? We're only one book in, dude, and we're already off the chain, man. Like,
Yeah, all right.
We technically haven't started the top 10 until
That's what I'm saying.
now. Let's go.
Technically, we're still on the runner.
we're still on the runner-up. We're going wild. Marty's dog is snoring back there. That poor dog is congested.
Can you hear her? Can you?
Yeah, dude.
Can you hear her? She's got
I thought
sleep
somebody was
apnea,
I
man.
thought somebody was cutting
Very,
up a tree.
very loudly.
Yeah.
All right. Take a breath. We're going to focus. We're going to make it through this show. Chat. Victoria's in the chat. She's holding us down. Like she's like, all right, keep it moving, guys. Like, she's our backup Laura. So thank you, Victoria, for being there, for holding us together.
Thanks, Victoria. we
Marty,
obviously need it tonight.
Marty, I'm glad you got this book. This is one of my favorite books on the list. Me and Lando have been talking about this behind the scenes. What do we got, Marty?
Yes. Okay. We have got Fantastic Four, Volume 1, number 280, published by Marvel in July of 1985. We've seen it before in video games, mainly with Fortnite, and when a coveted skin debuts for a certain character. We can see a jump on the aftermarket for associated books. This book falls in line as it features the first appearance of Malice, an alter ego of Sue Storm, to pour out all of her rage and, well, malice. In Marvel Rivals, Malice is an unlockable, sexy skin that has fans in their fields. Still, it's a super cheap, prevalent book for new and old fans to scout for. We track 59 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 11% with a high sale of $135 for a CGC 9.8 copy and a current very fine raw price of $6. So, still very attainable. I mean, then again, we were talking Fantastic. Well, actually, you and Lando were talking a lot of Fantastic Four in the green room earlier.
Yeah, dude.
Man, I always got Fantastic Four running in my head. Like it's one of my favorite titles of all time.
Is it really?
Oh, absolutely.
Over X-Men, huh?
Over X-Men. You kind of got like a 3-way, a 1A, 1B, 1C of X-Men, Fantastic Four, Daredevil kind of stuff.
Sure.
Like those. That's the majority of my collection. That's the stuff I've really been reading back and forth down. Unfortunately, Fantastic Four just doesn't have the runs, man. It does. I mean, it's a good thing not to have the runs. Like, nobody has been on the toilet, Lando, for a couple of nights. We've all been there. But what I mean is that it's very hard to name 4 or 5 fantastic runs of the Fantastic Four. So that's the thing with the Fantastic Four. It's very hard to name off some essential storylines of the Fantastic Four. But
Okay.
this book is awesome. Issue 280. People in the chat are throwing up love for John Byrne, which is always great.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
for sure, man. Yeah.
Awesome cover. Great story. Uh, John Byrne did a great job in his run of bringing Sue Storm up to the forefront and making changes to her, adding more depth and lore to her. And one of that is her kind of psychiatric break with this after, was it?
Mhm.
I'm trying to think. Was this after or before the miscarriage? I want to say after because that would make sense. But either way, it's her psychiatric break. She turns into Malice, all that kind of cool, fun stuff. I'm in Lando. Maybe you can help me out here. I don't know who's buying this book. I don't know if people are playing Rivals, looking at the skin. By skin, I mean the character of Sue Storm in the game, who's very skimpy as Malice.
I was gonna say,
And then going out and finding this book. It's really, I'm very unsure of where the traffic is coming for these books. I don't know if it's
I was gonna say that yes, they are definitely buying it for the skin. If you're playing the video game, you know exactly why this popped. And then, like I told you guys at the beginning of the show, 4 out of 10. This is book number 1 that are related to Marvel Rivals. Now, what's interesting is if you like. First, Gabe, if you're going to ask me who's buying this, it's got to be comic book fans that are playing the game. I don't think kids are flocking to such a book where their parents to buy them this book. But, you bring up this particular issue. I'm surprised it's taken this long for this book to get some attention because you mentioned the Byrne run, right? It being absolutely amazing. And majority of that run you can get for dirt cheap still to this day.
Mm-hmm.
I know that, the big keys are always going to hold supreme when it comes to aftermarket sales, first appearances of, I don't know, Indian Humans, you want to talk Galactus, etc. But this, for the sake of read, I think it's one of the best when it comes to Fantastic Four. If you take this run, I think it really holds up there, read-wise. Now, and no pun intended with the read, but 280, popping because of the video game, I'm not surprised. I honestly am not surprised. The skin looks amazing. I actually think they made Malice look better in the video game than they did in the comics, because in the video game, she is extra curvy. If you know.
Yeah, in the comic, it's kind of like, but so I'm not surprised this popped. I'm surprised that we're not seeing Malice's first cover appearance pop.
Yeah, 281.
281. To go back to what we were saying, Gabe, when it comes to Fantastic Four runs, I always attribute it to the writers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Claremont run, his first run, his I think third run in the 90s, where he introduced the daughter, which, oh my god,
Valeria.
Valeria. That was, I loved that series, that run. Mark Waid's work. It's like I really kind of lean to who the writers are instead of like the storyline runs, because I think the Fantastic Four is really hard to write for because Reed is so damn powerful. He kind of has a little bit of that Superman problem where there's just not much that he's not capable of, which makes the deviations like the Maker from the Ultimate Universe so interesting, right? So I look at the Fantastic Four stuff that's happened in the last couple of years. Some of it's good, a lot of it kind of a miss. The Council of Reeds and stuff like that was a little hard to get through, but this is a classic book. It's a classic cover. I always grab it when I see it in the long boxes, and I think I have like a dozen copies of them. They're all in trash, but every time I see it, I grab it.
Yeah. You have to.
And 281 will let you know why they probably updated the image in Rivals, because 281, her first cover appearance during this time, I don't know what it is. You can kind of see it here. John Byrne gave her a female haircut, and it's just gross. So, not the best. But with that said, let's move on to number 9. Lando, this is your first read of the show, bud. What do we got?
Well, at number 9, we have another Mark Spears book. We've got Return of the Living Dead number 1. This being the regular cover, of course, and it's by American Mythology Productions, and it dropped only in December 2024. Now, Universal Monsters is so last year. Zombies are back, baby. Yes. Sorry, Chris. They are. Night of the Living Dead introduced millions to zombies and zombie-centric horror. It's a classic, so when they return, fans are pretty keyed up to it. And when you get the hottest name in the biz to do a cover, fans are going to be extra excited. It's another book coming at the right time as zombies saw a massive surge in popularity thanks to the likes of the 28 Days/Weeks films and, of course, The Walking Dead a decade ago. It saw a downturn for a few years, but with the likes of 28 years later on the horizon and a general surge in horror love, this book landed at the right time for collectors. We tracked 32 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 35% with a high sale of $25 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw price of $11. Now, the last time we spoke about this book, which was just last week, I was saying how, I really enjoyed Return of the Living Dead growing up. I really like that. I'm the punk rock scene. I love that. Mark Spears being on fire, it was a recipe for success. I just think this cover is incredible. It's nice. Definitely hits the nostalgia feels. So it was a no-brainer to order this one.
And you know why we love this cover, everybody in the chat. If you were listening last week,
3 o'clock.
It's the boner cover, man.
Yeah,
right. It's the boner
yeah,
cover.
buddy, that zombie is fully loaded. He's gonna eat some brains and impregnate.
But
so,
once again, it's a Mark Spears, and his covers obviously sell out so quick that people have to go on the aftermarket to purchase a cover. I mean, that's how fast it is. That what it's telling me with this sale?
Well, look, like I said, I think it's a combination because we have other covers that are available that Mark Spears is putting out there. We just had a Spawn book drop with a Mark Spears cover. We have the Green Hornet book that's come out just now. Like, there's so many Mark Spears, but I think when you take such a book with Return of the Living Dead, Mark Spears, the horror genre, which he's clearly mastered at putting at the forefront on these covers, I really think he does well when it comes to that. This was a recipe for success. Like I said, I just think, some other ones like the Spawn, etc., don't get the kind of love like these horror ones are getting. Lobo got it. Lobo got the love, but that's obviously because of the news, right?
Yeah, that. I also think I think there's a lot of people who love this stuff who just don't have a comic shop near them, or maybe not a good comic shop near them. So they have to buy their books off of like eBay or market websites and stuff like that. So that all gets generated into this too. But yeah, the same thing. I think stores are always especially right now, they are very conservative. They really are pumping the brakes when they order. They want to be like, okay, I can sell 10. Can I sell 15? I don't know. Let me stick with 10 just to be sure, kind of thing. Like they're really, really. There's not a lot of meat on the bone with ordering for stores these days. So store runs out. The only other option you have, got to go on eBay. Or as somebody mentioned in the chat, somebody mentioned Chris mentioned that, hey, this is a result of Diamond shipping things out late and there being a delay and causing people to FOMO for the book. FOMO, or just like, hey, that's a problem too that stores are running into. Hey, if I don't have that book, my customer is going to come in and they're going to order it off of eBay. It happens to me too. My Savage Dragon book didn't show up at my shop, and I was like, dang it, I'm the only guy that gets Savage Dragon here. You didn't get it because it was shorted or delayed, so I had to go on eBay and get it that way. So,
but Gabe, just to add to that comment though, like if you have an honest shop and you pre-ordered this book, like when the book's going to come in, it'll come in and it should be in your pull box. There shouldn't be an issue, right? Like it's happened to me in the past where a shipment gets delayed and I wait another week or two, whatever it is, to receive the book. Again, that's if you have an honest shop. If you don't, you might want to reconsider.
Well, a lot of times, not even the shop's fault though, too. It's like with my shop, it's not that they forgot to order it. They ordered it and was shorted. Like they didn't get it like they were supposed to. Yeah. And now, after I bought it off of eBay, I got my weekly email from my shop saying, here's what you're getting this week in your pull box, and there it is. It showed up. So it's one of those things. You show up to the shop, you go, where's my books? Sorry, Diamond didn't get us our books. Maybe we'll get it soon. We don't know when, but people want it now. I want my book now. And then they flock to eBay and get it or whatever. So or the shop across town or whatever the case might be. So that happens too. But I mean, Mark Spears' books are the talk of the town. That's they're the belle of the ball right now. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. Look, there's many comments coming up that, of course, we can dive into as well, like the damages, etc.
Yep.
But we can have this entire conversation on a separate show for sure.
Yeah, that's an after talk for sure. But awesome. All right, guys, great job coming back up. Chris, you're rolling up again with number 8, my man. What do we got for number 8?
Nice.
All right, number 8, we have Spawn number 360, the Brett Booth Virgin cover, 1 in 50 variant. And this is by Image Comics, and it came out this month. The first Spawn book of the year and the highest ratio available propelled this book onto our list. It also serves as a soft conclusion to the recent arc, Marty, your dog. Good Lord. Where was I? It also serves as a soft conclusion to the recent arc, priming Spawn to pivot in a new direction. Of course, Spawn is an aftermarket stalwart, so when a pivotal moment occurs, his fans typically find themselves a copy. We tracked 9 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 6% with a high sale of $270 for a near mint copy and a current near mint average raw price of $218. So, I mean, usually a ratio is considered a good ratio if it makes its ratio in money, right? So if this was going for $50, you would consider it to be pretty successful. $270, that's a 5 decimal markup there, 5 times up with
5x. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like $5 and 5.2 or something like that, but it's incredible. It's really, really cool. I'm not reading Spawn right now. Are any of you guys currently reading Spawn?
I am. I'm current. I still read it, and I still read that universe. Yeah.
What is the pivotal moment that the fine writers at CovrPrice are referring to when they're talking about this issue right here?
Pivotal moment, I'm not too sure. I know that now we have the return of McFarlane back on the title.
Right.
There's been
put that on your bingo card, man.
It's like a dog has a harmonica. I mean, it is just so.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I know.
I think
Bless her heart, man. And here's the thing. I've gotten so used to it. I have to fall asleep to it. If I don't fall asleep to it, I can't sleep to it.
I'm not even mad. I think it's great.
It's cute, dude. It's the cutest thing ever. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Okay.
But I think it was issue 350 where, because Nyx is now the ruler, right, of hell. I that's where I've been catching up from. To say I know the history of Spawn, I don't know the entire history of Spawn, but the pivotal point now is that Todd McFarlane is coming back to write the title, and that's what people are excited about. In fact, somebody like myself who's just a casual fan, I'm going to be reading as of now. I'm really going to dive back into Spawn because I'm excited to see what McFarlane has to bring to the table. The only thing is I've missed out on so much Spawn that I'm going to miss plenty of references that are going to happen within the book.
Yeah.
It's okay because I didn't catch on.
You can watch and get caught up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I mean there's the cartoon, the animation of Spawn that Todd McFarlane was narrating in his early days. I don't know if you ever saw that one.
Yeah.
And
you talking about the HBO show?
Yeah,
dude, that's the best.
Yeah, that's like back in the days. I don't know if you guys ever caught it or not, but I enjoyed that. It has him in the beginning talking about whatever episode you're gonna watch, and then it goes on to the episode, right?
It's the most awkward introduction to a show ever. Todd McFarlane is not Mr. Camera. He's very I don't know where I'm supposed to Look,
I feel like he's grown into that. He's grown
Yeah.
into it. He's grown into
Yeah.
it because, like, you see him at conventions now, and the guy dominates cameras. He's good.
yeah.
He's
so awkward,
actually going to be
so-
appearing at MegaCon Orlando up in March. I just saw an email that he's going to be actually one of the artists down there, man. So I'm hoping to get there this year, man. But we'll see, man. But MegaCon Orlando, love that venue.
All right. Speaking of loving, I'm loving what's coming up next. Number 7.
Yeah.
Marty, what do you got, man?
Oh man, number 7 is Mark Spears' Monster number 1. Once again, Mark Spears. This is the cover A, Looking Down on You, by Keenspot Entertainment, published in September of 2024. This is the cover we've probably seen the most of, as it is the original cover A from issue number 1. This was the book that caught the fandom's attention and led them down the rabbit hole to where we're at now. Covers on covers on covers of this fickle monsters we've known all our lives. The resurgence of the horror genre has also helped this book along, but Mark Spears has certainly capitalized on the momentum this book has helped develop. We tracked 11 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 48%, with a high sale of $500 for a CGC 9.8 copy, and a current near mint raw price of $263. Dude, $500 for a 9.8. A cover A at that. A cover A. I mean,
And it's a newer book, too. I mean,
it's a very new book.
Last year, like around Halloween stuff, right? So a book that's only, a handful of months old, sitting at $500, like,
yeah.
That's a nice vintage back issue for me. That's my collector math. But there is no doubting that these things are hot and in the market, and that's what we're talking about now, is what's happening in the market and what's hot on the market.
Absolutely.
Man, $500, dude. Man, I hope Mark Spears has a bunch of these stashed somewhere that he can just grade.
I'm glad I got mine before the fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have this, Marty?
I have this one, yeah. The Mark Spears number 1 A cover, yeah.
If it's a 9.8 candidate, bro, send it in. $500, you kind of have to.
Send it now, though, because there's the price hike coming on the 21st.
Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, man. I'm glad I got this before the fact. So because what it's going for now, I'm gonna pull out my copy, man, and see what I'm about sending it in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one that started it all, right? This is the one that got the attention. This is the book that launched Mark Spears into the stratosphere, and in a completely organic way. I honestly think that the organic growth and popularity of Mark Spears is a testament to how strong the comic industry is with collectors. Because this isn't being pushed or peddled by LCS's. Keenspot's a fairly small company still. The popularity here is popular because it is good. This is one of those moments that you will look back on, and like Jim Lee on number 1. It kind of blows your mind, and it's all anybody can talk about, and everybody wants a copy. So this is it.
Exactly, man. It's like you said, the one that popped it off for everybody, and what really makes this appealing is the fact that it went right under the radar. People missed it. Obviously, with the Kickstarter now having a lot of attention, the books that were available on Kickstarter, the Kickstarter itself was an amazing thing, but like, again, Kickstarter totally went under the radar. This went under the radar, but then once it dropped, everybody was focused on it. Everybody was paying attention to it. People flocking to the secondary market. And of course, the issue number 1 being at a $500 price tag. The question comes up all the time. When does the Mark Spears fatigue kick in? Because it will happen. I mean, people there's many things that come up and come down, and it's fine.
Yeah.
But I really think he's really made a presence with, the comic community as a whole, the collectors, whatever you want to label us. I know that, people love this, and it's very cool to see that, a CGC 98 is now hitting $500. This is a top sale, even after people thought, we're at the peak for this book. No, it's still going. So it's really impressive.
Yeah.
I congratulate Mark Spears. I mean, seriously, what really kicked everything off was the bride, right? That was the cover that really brought attention to Mark
Bridezilla,
Spears.
yeah.
Right, the Bridezilla, Bride of Frankenstein, right? And that really put him on top, and people were just scrambling to get a copy of that. I'm curious to know what that goes for now. I haven't looked in a while, but I'm curious to see what that will actually go for too. But given that too, people are going back to getting all after that. People are going back to getting all his other covers. They're Mark Spears. With that said, to the caveat on what you had mentioned, how long will Mark Spears' bubble be around, right? Even besides that, even if after the hype of Mark Spears kind of dwindles down a little bit, he's going to have a continuous fan base, and he's going to have those die-hard fanatics that love his work and that are very nostalgic about it.
Yep.
Like me, I mean, I look at these characters; these are very nostalgic because I grew up close to that era, and I grew up to a time, an era where this was still prevalent. Coming out in magazines and in eerie, creepy, and all of that, and what have you. And so I think he's always going to have that fan base, and his books are always going to be sought after amongst that collectors, especially if he does something that hits people's nerve, like that brings back a nostalgia. So if that and if he monopolizes on that, then he will always sell. He will definitely always sell.
Yeah.
Give the fans what they want.
Hey Marty, how much was this again? How much did this go for?
This one here, 500. 5.8.
I just wanted to set that up for everybody.
Use it.
The Bridezilla cover, Marty, last sold in 9.8 in the middle of December for $385.
$385.
So I think the only reason why you're not seeing that more often is that people are not letting them go.
Oh no!
No. I don't even think that
nobody wants to buy a used copy of the bread cover.
Right. There doesn't seem to be very many even available for sale on eBay. Just based off of what I'm seeing.
Yeah, but Gabe, I want to take the Mark Spears conversation to another level, if that's okay with you. So if you can, let's talk about the next book.
Next book. Thank you. Number 6. What do we got?
We have another Mark Spears, Monsters issue number 3, guys. KRS, East Side Comics / Comic Mint, the Jaws version that is limited to 450 copies. Of course, Keen Spot, as we were just talking about, dropping this month, January 2025. Now, Mark Spears does it once again. We can't go a week without seeing his work on the list, and that's okay. When the fire is hot, strike it. And Spears is pumping out work like a madman. Once again, the layering of this book is unreal. Of course, the Jaws homage is nice, and it's one of the most critically acclaimed and beloved movies of all time. It's limited and is just such a striking piece of art that appeals to numerous classifications of collectors. We tracked 21 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 100% with a high sale of $162 for a CGC 98 copy and a current near mint raw price of $89. And if that isn't impressive as well, because it is a book that is an exclusive, we all know exclusives, they come and go, right? Like, there's some that just hold the test of time. Some, there was a time, especially throughout COVID, exclusives were flooding the market, man. But when some of those stand above the crowd, kind of like this one right here, we just saw, dude, not because Laura's our girl, but Bird City's crushed it with the Mark Spears covers. Look, issue number 3 on her end, right? Anthony, they did an amazing job. It actually fell into the runners up. I think it was number 14 or something on the list this week. So just to give you guys an idea, not only is Mark Spears dominating the top 10, he's not too far off with other books on the top 10. The Jaws homage is beautiful. I like this. It's a wonderful cover. I'm trying to see if we get some cheeks there, but I don't think we get any. We don't think we get any, but wonderful cover. And yeah, man, I really like this.
You get side butt, just like you get side boob with Mark Spears. You get side butt with him too. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chris.
I think that this is probably one of my favorite covers that he's done. I mean, I like a lot of his covers. This is by far probably my favorite cover. I wish I had this book. It is gorgeous. I love the shark. It's iconic. You know, this is absolutely iconic. And unlike the Back to the Future meme, this shark doesn't look fake because it's just so well done. So I love it. It's fantastic. I wish I had it. Limited to 450 copies.
Yeah, it's so
if I can find one, you know what? CGC for a 9.8. What was the raw? $89. That means that the CGC 9.8 is probably a little bit low. For a raw 89, the 9.8 should be sold for $250. So, in my opinion.
Well,
you know,
give it a chance. Give it a chance.
This sold out so quick, man. I tell you what. By the time I hit the website when this was going for on sale, it was gone. You get up on there now, it's sold out on the KRS website. You know, so. And that means going on the aftermarket. Once again, people are having to spend big money to get something, you know, come on, man. This is a beautiful cover, dude. I mean, I wanted this so bad, man.
These are pre-sales, right? This is because this hasn't been out yet. These are pre-sales.
Yeah.
Did they pre-sell 9.8s at 162? That's just an odd number.
Yeah.
Like it's not a round number.
Yeah, I wonder if it auctioned to that level.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Maybe some bug. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
It was a pre-sale, but by the time you got to the site, it was
somebody sold their pre-sale for
Yeah.
whatever on eBay or something like that. I get
Yeah.
it. Okay, cool, awesome, guys. Let's move it on. Let's keep it kicking. We got 83 people with us. They want to see what number 5 is. What do we got for number 5, people?
Number 5, my favorite character, he says with sarcasm. The Omega Men, volume number 1, number 3 by DC Comics in 1983. This, of course, is the first appearance of Lobo. And with the news coming from the DC movie universe, Jason Momoa will appear as Lobo in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. We can all breathe a collective sigh because it is finally happening. The communal theorizing can end, and the aftermarket scouring has begun. This book was hot for months before finally calming down, only to come roaring back. As the first appearance of Lobo, collectors typically covet this book, but there has been a slight shift in the last year as their collections turn their attention to what's coming up on the next entry, which we won't get into yet. Part of the price that we're seeing here on Omega Men number 3 is that of preference. Do you want the first ever Lobo appearance, or do you want the first solo Lobo title with a visage that we now know today? Either way, it's happening. There was a 7-day growth trend of 59% with a high sale of $350 for CGC 9.8 and a current near mint raw of $110. Now, I have this in a 9.6. It is, I'm trying to move it, and I'm getting some offers, but they're all pretty low. I wish it was a 9.8 because I would like 350.
But I sold my 9.8 for 350 the moment that this was announced.
Yeah, as soon as it was announced, I put mine up. So if it moves, it moves. If it doesn't, then it'll probably move when the movie drops.
It's getting pretty soft. I thought it'd be rising a little bit, but I think once we see Momoa as Lobo, Lobo is not a household name. Like it's not Superman, it's not Batman, it's not not even Iron Man was a household name when it first came out.
Exactly.
The movie was. But once you see Momoa as this, everybody's gonna lose it, and then I think these books are gonna start blowing up.
Yeah, one of two things is going to happen. Everybody's going to go, "Why is Aquaman dressed like that?" And second, they're gonna go, "Oh wait, I should probably get that book because the trailer's out now." So this will probably spike back up again, and yeah, well, I guess we'll see, right?
And this has always been a key book, anyways. Regardless, and I think we talked about this last week how we're going to see a spike because of the announcement and with Momoa. But just like you said, Gabe, you expected this to hit a little higher. I say wait, just like you said. I say wait once it comes. Once it's going to get announced and it's a little bit more prevalent, and especially when they see a teaser trailer with him in it, we're going to see up in prices.
We always get those 3 spikes, right? We get the spike of the first announcement, spike with the trailer, and then the spike at when the movie launches or is released. If it's good, if it's garbage, then it starts. We've seen books just die because the movie is not that good, or wasn't
for sure,
or something like that, right?
Well, even if the movie is good, sometimes you usually see a dip. I mean, look at Ultimate Fallout #4, right?
Yeah.
The Spider-Verse movies are amazing. They're incredible. But there was still that dip. So.
Yeah, by then everybody who wanted it already got it, kind of thing.
So this also tells me, I mean, look at the trending on this, okay? Pay attention. I know we're collectors. Foremost, but we also want to be very, very smart about how we collect too, Don't rush out there because of the hype and get you something that's you end up regretting later on, or end up just selling it later on. Pay attention to trends. Watch how they sell. This has always been a key book, meaning this has been a little bit about the $100 price or so, okay, for key book, right? And that's conservatively speaking. But then as you move on, as now we're getting attention, okay. Yeah, I know. We're getting attention. She loves it when I talk. It calms her down. Now we're seeing a little lift, but once again, it's holding steady because we don't know what it's going to do now, right? So we're not really going to go up or down. We don't know what it's going to do. So wait, and once again, once we see a announcement, teaser, trailer, or something within that nature, now it's going to see a little spike on it. But once again, this is organic to what anything is even before that. This is going to be a key book. This is good to have in your collection, regardless of whether you flip or not. Yeah.
Guys, I'm going to keep it short because you touched on a lot of things that I wanted to say already. Gabe, you and I already spoke about the fact that the casting is perfection. You compared Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. I brought up even, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man. Not many people knew about Iron Man prior, and then he became the face of the MCU. Does Lobo have the capacity to become the face? No. He's not going to lead the teams, if you know what I mean. But I think on the comic side of things, this is prime example, again, as I said last week, how DC key books are so underappreciated. Because even with a top sale being $350 for a CGC 9.8, I still consider it relatively low for the type of character Lobo is. I think Lobo deserves a lot more love than that, and I'm sure he's going to see it once we get a trailer, like you said, once the movie comes out. I think the casting is so well done. I think Jason Momoa is going to really pull this off. We are in the Jason FOMOA era right now. That's what I'm calling it. And, dude, I think the book will hold relatively well. I know, Chris, you referenced Miles Morales. I think, Jason Momoa is really going to bring the fire. I think people are going to flock to the character, really enjoy the character, the presence. That's how much faith I have in Jason Momoa portraying Lobo. And I still think $350 is considered cheap for the type of character Lobo is.
So if the presentation in the movie is good, and if the character is likable, then yes. But coming from somebody who doesn't like Lobo, and it's not just Lobo. I don't like any characters that are just completely without inhibition, right? That's just a personal preference of mine. I don't think the stories read well. But you're looking at a supporting role in a movie for Supergirl.
But that's his introduction. That's going to be his introduction. Give him time to build into, like, James Gunn's universe still has yet to even play out. All we've really
Sure.
gotten was
I mean,
Creature
I
Commandos.
never thought that the Peacemaker show would be as successful as it
Exactly.
was. And I truly enjoy the Peacemaker show. And even the Suicide Squad movies, I really like those as well. So I guess there is potential here. But the way that Lobo is presented in comics, I don't think will work on film. I think they have to reinvent the character for film.
Cool.
And I'm sure they will. Look, many characters. James Gunn himself made us fall in love with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which, let's be honest, when they, you go to earlier stories, nobody gave a shit. Now you come to the more modern times of comics. Guardians of the Galaxy was very well written. Man, you could take so many stories, arcs, whether even if it was, what's his name, Donny Cates. Like, Donny Cates did a great job even with Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn turned them into household names. I think he'll do that with Lobo. I have faith. And now, again, if it's well written, is the key, right?
I have no doubt.
Going.
Yeah,
I have no doubt in James Gunn's writing ability. He does great writing. And if you guys notice, James Gunn does a lot of these BC type of characters. And you see that in Creature Commandos. You see that kind of in. He doesn't do a lot of main characters. He does that offshoot, and he brings them to light. I mean, for example, just like what you said, Chris, look at Peacemaker, right? Look what he does with Creature Commando as well. I mean, look at.
I'm going to help Gabe out here.
Real quick, guys. Let's keep the topic going.
All right, let's go.
We can keep talking about it because
coming up next is. All right, let's see what we got next, because we're going to be talking more Lobo, so we'll keep the conversation going, everybody.
We'll keep it going with number 4 being Lobo #1, published by DC September 1990. While a ton of fans are after the first appearance of Lobo, thanks to the casting announcement of Jason Momoa taking on the role, a large subset is after this book as well. It's more readily available, and some view it is also the more definitive Lobo outing. It marks his first solo series and his origin, which fans are after. As the kid says, these days, this book passes the vibe check, and collectors were searching far and wide for a copy. We tracked 45 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 134%, with a high sale of 183 for a CGC 9.8 copy, and a current very fine raw price of $9. Now, I own this. I actually got mine signed by Simon Beasley at a convention one year, but I had, it was just for the love of his artwork. I really enjoy his artwork. I was first introduced to his style on heavy metal magazines and things like that. And so, I brought a stack of books for him to sign, and I actually own this one, man. And once again, it goes back to what we talked about, Lobo, right? Just the Jason Momoa character with James Gunn, and I think James Gunn is going to do. I enjoy his writing, I really do. I think he does the character justice, especially these offshoot characters, these side characters that once again we've mentioned. So I think it's going to be fine. I have a lot of faith in what he does, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a fun show. Look at once again, look at Suicide Squad. That was fun. And he did a really good job with the characters interacting, having them joke, the bantering between them, the killing. A lot of nude scenes, a lot of sexual scenes. So he uses a lot of varieties. To bring the audience in, so you almost have a relationship with the character, if you will, and that's what a good writer does. He wants you to bond with that character, and so once again,
Marty, let's go ahead and cut this short. We still got 3 more books on the list. Chris loves Lobo. We all know that. Number 3. Let's keep the party rolling. We got 3 more books to talk about, guys. Let's keep this party
I hate Lobo
train happening.
Oh, I'm so happy I got this one because of the Amazing Spider-Man issue 65, Nettease. Now, if you're wondering what Nettease is, well, you should know, if with the video game, who Nettease is. But Marvel Rivals variant right here with Spider-Man gracing the cover. This was put out by Marvel just this month in January 2025. Spider-Man is one of the most popular comic characters ever. He's a bankable star, and Marvel knew what they were doing when they opted to release this book. Another Marvel Rivals variant for the masses, so seeing it on this list isn't a surprise, despite the learning curve attributed to his playstyle. He's the most recognizable character in the entire game and an easy one for fans to latch on to. Also, in the duelist class, Spider-Man ranks in the top 5, just one spot ahead of Magic. We tracked 27 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 364%, with a high sale of $25 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw price of $24. Now,
Yeah.
dude, no surprise, Marvel Rivals skyrocketed. The game itself, there's over like 20 million rivals that exist, meaning us, the players, 20 million players playing the game. It's absolutely insane how big this game has gotten so quick. But one thing to factor is, a lot of people are saying, well, there's a lot of FOMO on this, or just because of the hype of the video game, this is going to die out. But we need to remember that this hit FOC, as did the other covers prior to the release of the video game. So a lot of people just looked right over this, like it didn't even matter. Now with the success of the video game, obviously people are flocking to this, like, oh, I missed out on this. And I think, if you had the opportunity to lock one down at your LCS, that's great. If you can, flip it, do whatever you please with it. I'm happy to just own this. Spider-Man is my all-time favorite character in comic books. It's what got me into comic books, but he's not my go-to guy in the video game.
No, sir. No,
Yeah.
sir.
So I focused on the Marvel versus Capcom covers, right?
Yeah.
And not the Marvel Rivals one. I heard that Marvel Rivals was going to be kind of an Overwatch style hero shooter, and I didn't think it would take off. And I know that you, Orlando, and you, Gabe, really, really liked the game. I have a hard time getting into it, but I also didn't really like Overwatch. Just wasn't my style. And I tried a couple different things, but it just wasn't for me. These covers are pretty cool, though. I really like the art style that's being presented. So,
Yeah.
Do you like the game or not? That's one thing, but the art style itself is quite nice, and I would pick this up not because it's the Rivals cover, but because of the art style, and I think that would be true of the next couple ones we're going to talk about as well.
Yep. All right, cool. Number 3, Amazing Spider-Man number 65. This is the awesome Rivals variant cover. Number 2, what do we got, guys?
This is the all-new Venom number 2, the NetTease Marvel Rivals cover. Also came out just this month. Another Marvel Rivals cover to add to our list. Of course, Marvel had to highlight the various classes in their game, and who better to rep the Vanguard, that's a tank for you non-gamers out there, class than Venom. We could think of a few, but this is marketing, baby, and Venom has been all over the place lately. He's got numerous titles, movies, crossover events, and more. Venom is a hot commodity. I need that meme from Zoolander. Oh, he's so hot right now. So fans gravitate towards these covers like this. There was a 7-day growth trend of 497%. That is one of the biggest growth trends that we've seen, with a high sale of $35 for a near mint copy. This is incredible. So this is another beautiful cover, another beautiful segment, breakup of the 3-panel style, and this is a key. That's also I don't remember what the key is for. I think it's introduction to a new character, but this is a beautiful cover, and I understand why people are buying it, even if they're not playing the game. I understand why.
Dude, I love the design on Venom for the video game. Like, it's so neat. It's wicked. He looks badass. He's an awesome character to play as. I just realized there's a NetEase Games in Montreal, so maybe I should hit up their office and be like, "Hey guys, do you have any extra copies? Like, you want to send some our way?"
Interesting.
Any cool Rivals like merchandise, like a hat or shirt or
Yeah, please.
something fun like that.
Yeah. Get some swag, man. Get
I wanna
yourself some
see-
stuff.
I want a Jeff plushie. They have to have that.
They're
No,
in Walmart. You can get them at Walmart.
Yeah, well,
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh
So,
yeah, there's
here's-
plenty at Walmart. Yeah.
The key is first appearance of Ripcord, Chuck Stuff, Heave Ho, and the Tosser.
The
all
Tosser.
of which,
That's not a good name. That's not a good name.
that was my high school band name, the Tossers.
Toss it up. What? Toss
All
what?
right, cool. So number 2, Marvel Rivals, bringing them the end of the top 10 here.
Yeah.
For numero uno this week.
Marty.
Yes, I'm scrolling. Thank you. Magic number 1 brings you the final read of the night. Everybody's probably out there. Oh, finally, these guys actually made it through this.
Yeah.
See what happens. You leave a whole bunch of guys together. You leave us all by yourself and unsupervised. Look what happens to the show. We definitely need lower back, dude. So, anyways, number 1 brings you Magic number 1 by, how do you say it? Natees, published by Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals, published by Marvel in January of 2025. Marvel Rivals has been a boom for the industry in general, but much like what we saw with the Fortnite crossover comics, but on a grander scale. Along with cool skins, fans get information about the heroes they are playing at home. Before it debuted, some viewed the whole situation as a gimmick, mainly because Marvel had tried video game tie-ins numerous times, and they never really gained traction that Rivals has. They commissioned numerous covers to celebrate the game as part of the promotion. That includes this book featuring Magic front and center with her Marvel Rival style. Also noted is her class specialty, Duelist, or essentially DPS, damage dealers. Magic currently ranks in the top 10 for fan favorite duelists to use when gaming. But on this list, she's number 1. We track 43 copies sold at a 7-day growth trend of 468%, with a high sale of $40 for a near mint copy and a current near mint raw price of $33.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. These are some really, I love that art style right there. I'm really enjoying that, and I can see, I definitely see it, but I didn't jump on this whole Rivals, train. So I can't really speak about that, to be honest with you.
One of the things that's really interesting, right? So I don't know how big of a character Magic is in the game. I will say that in the comics, I mean, there's not a lot of huge Magic fans. It's unusual to me to see Magic number 1 on the list. And when I look at the metrics on CovrPrice, this is outselling and outpricing every single variant of this book, with the exception of the 1 in 100. And there are like 30 different variants of this book that are out there. First appearance of Demon Crow. The only variants that are outselling this one, and this isn't a limited run, by the way. This is not limited to 1,000 copies or anything. There's a Silva one that's limited to 300 copies, which sells for $75. And there's another one, the David Nakayama 1 in 200, which sells for about $200. It's amazing to me to see this going for $40 when I don't think the character is that big or beloved. I mean, she's a great character, but there's not a huge fan base for her. And there are so many other covers for Marvel Rivals that are getting attention, like Spider-Man. If this were to be flipped, right, and Spider-Man was number 1 and Magic was number 3, I would understand that.
Yeah,
but this is weird.
People love Magic. She's a hot chick that turns into a demon.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. How you wouldn't have expected Magic to be at the number 1 spot, getting the most love on the secondary market so far. Now brace yourself, because Storm hits shelves tomorrow as well from Marvel Rivals. We have more covers coming as well. I do think the design cover wise is probably the nicest one. Magic, I think, is nicer than the Venom one as well as the Spider-Man one. But one thing I will say is that video game itself, this is prime example as to how good this is. It is a wonderful gateway for new people to discover characters. Kids playing these video games are discovering these characters. I say this about even cartoons, not video games, sorry, but like my kids watch cartoons and they're being introduced to like characters like Reptile. Like, no, who cares about this character, right? In comics, but these kids are learning about these characters because of cartoons such as Spider-Man and his Amazing Friends. This video game's doing exactly that. It's bringing characters to the forefront that most people, the average fan, never heard of before. So to see Magic getting the love, I'm happy to hear this personally.
Yeah, you see a lot of Magic cosplay. I see a lot of Magic cosplay, like at cons and stuff like that. Big old cool sword. There was a new Mutants movie with her in it by Anna Joy, whatever her name.
Anya Joy Taylor.
There you go.
Anya Taylor Joy. Sorry.
She's a cool character. She's Colossus' sister. She died. Came back as a demon chick. Hell yeah. All right.
Yeah, I know the story. I know the origin. I didn't think that she was, as beloved as these numbers indicate. And I also wonder how many channels she picks up with that antenna she's got on her head.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I'm surprised that she beat out Spider-Man of all things, but still, she does have her fans. It's mainly dudes. If you know what I'm saying.
It's interesting. Yeah.
All right, so dudes, that is it for this show. We made it without Laura. We made this happen.
Barely.
I know. Almost didn't make it. It's a long show. People stuck around. Thank you to the chat.
Yeah.
We are ready to bounce out of here. But before we do, Chris, tell everybody goodbye.
Thank you guys for letting me fill in for Laura. I know that I'm a poor substitute for the goddess of the top 10, but I'm happy to be here and to fill in. And if you guys want to talk to me and tell me how wrong I am about that emo edgelord Lobo, you can hit me at Dr. Wayo on Instagram. Lobo is a terrible character. I hate it, but we'll see what he does in the movies. And feel free to argue with me. I love it.
I hope he has this bulldog. Lobo has a bulldog too, so hopefully.
So Marty's got a connection there. I can only imagine how loud that bulldog snores.
It's a fierce one. Yeah.
Speaking of snoring bulldogs, Marty, what's up, buddy?
Oh man,
you're last. That's right. Sorry, Lando.
Yeah, I'll go next. I want to thank you guys. Thank the chat for rocking with us. We went 1 hour and 13 minutes, and it was a sausage fest. It was spicy sausages all night because we just did not stop going off the rails. So we, Chris, I love you. I'm so happy I got to hang out with you because now we no longer hang out on Thursdays.
Yeah, I know.
You guys go live on Thursday. So please, guys, come back Thursday, show some love because these awesome gentlemen go live with Laura to talk the weekly Shakers. I myself on my channel go live Sundays at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So please come hang out. You're more than welcome. You guys are all welcome as well. Gabe, Marty, Chris, anytime you want, you're more than welcome. But thank you all for swinging by, hanging out with us. 1 hour and 13 minutes. We have, the top 10 coming next week. I could already foresee that Storm book being on there. Look, Nettees, Marvel Rivals held down the top 3 spots, man. So I'm curious to see where that one lands.
Hey, Lando, I did miss you. I mean, Gabe is so mean to me. He's always yelling at me on the Thursday shows.
I'll be honest. The fight, the fighting is way more entertaining, though.
All right. So with that said, everybody, thanks again for showing up.
No.
Get Marty.
Oh, Marty. Shit. Son.
Yeah,
Marty.
We barely made it past the end, man. Like, you got me all live camera now. I mean, the full camera now. Anyways, guys, man, we made it. We did it. We were able to make it through a show, and
we're not done yet.
Rolling.
Let's go for it.
Yeah. But nevertheless, thank you so much for joining us as always. And if you're catching us on the rewind, we appreciate you as well. We appreciate all you guys, you Tubanites out there. Thank you for joining us as always. Don't forget to hit the like, the share, and we thank you guys for joining. What a great show! I had a great time tonight. I was laughing my bum off,
Yeah, buddy.
But nevertheless, thank you for joining us. May the comic gods and the spirit of our good friend TiVo continue to bless your long boxes and fill them with gold, modern, silver ages, frankincense, mirrors, gemstones, and whatever. Anyways, nevertheless, Excelsior.
Hell yeah, Excelsior, baby. Gabe is mute.
He's muted.
It's a button. It's a button.
But you know, you guys get us again Thursday because it's gonna be us again Thursday. So you know, we just kind of broke the ice tonight, but you get to see us again, and come Thursday, don't forget to join us for the weekly Shakers.
Like, share, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Tell us how right we are about something or how wrong we are about something. We love to exchange words with you guys.
All right, buddy. I'm out. It's late. Peace.
For the entire crew, this is TiVo saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
We're still live.
End stream.
Gotta end the show.
I'm hitting the button.
Hit the button.